Recently, one of my friends had an interview for the position of MS Excel data analyst, and he was asked 5 questions to answer in that interview. We are going to record those questions and answers in this video, so you can also be aware of how these questions can come in interviews for MS Excel positions. As you can see on my screen, he was given this data set of sales data, and what he needed to do is to find the total sales for each region in this data set. So the question was, find the sales amount for each region and then get the total sales amount as well, like this. One of the different solutions is to use SUMIFS function for getting the sales amount of each region from this table. So for that, let's use SUMIFS functions. Select the sum range, what we want to sum here. So we want to sum this column entirely, comma, the criteria range will be this region. You have to look in this region column, and the criteria itself will be this east, this region name. Close parentheses, press enter. We got the total sales for east from this sales data set. Now we need to expand this till south so we can get the total sales for each of these regions. Now for getting the total sales of all the regions, we just need to use the sum function. Select the sales amount of all the regions, close parentheses and press enter. This is the total sales. Let's confirm this. This is 33,450. If we select this entire column, you can see here that the sum is 33,450. So that is correct total. The first question was answered to the perfection. Let's now go to the second one. In the second question, there were many tasks like this table, and he was asked to automatically highlight those records which are expired but not completed. We can see that there are different tasks assigned to someone: start date, end date and status columns. Now we need to find those tasks that are not completed in the status but the end date is before today. It means the tasks are expired but the status is not completed. So for that, let's select these two columns, go to conditional formatting, go to new rule, and let's go to use a formula to determine which cells to format. And here we need to type the formula. Let's type the formula equals. We can say that select this J3 cell because the first end date is on J3 and that should be before today. So for that we can say, in conditional formatting we need to add two conditions. The first condition will be that the end date is before today and the status is not completed. So for that, let's use AND formula. Inside AND, we can specify the first condition, that the J3, $J3, I'm adding $sign because column is fixed, that is J, but the 3, which is row number, is not fixed because we have many other rows as well in this end date column. J3 should be less than today. Today is also a function that returns today's date, comma. So this is the first condition that is specified. In the second condition, we need to say that the status is not equal to completed. So we can say that $K3 should not be equal to completed. Close parentheses to complete this AND function. Now let's format them. Go to format, go to fill, select this red color, click OK, click OK again, and now we can see that this record is highlighted because the date is before today and the status is not completed. Same is the case with this one, not started and the date is expired. Let's see the other cells as well. We can see that all those records which meet the criteria are highlighted in red color. So question number 2 is also answered completely. Let's now go to question number 3. Question number 3, we have been given this data set of employees and sales, and the question is, if total sales is greater than or equal to 50,000, we need to add 10% to the salary and print it, otherwise print the salary only. So for that, let's go here, write equals. If this sales is greater than or equal to 50,000, then we need to add 10% to the salary. So salary plus salary multiplied by 10%. If this is not the case, then we only need to print the salary. So let's click on the salary, close parentheses, press enter. That's it. We can see that this sales is greater than 50,000, so we have 10% added to the salary. The second one is not over 50,000, So that's why the salary is printed and 30% is not added to the salary. 82,000 is greater than 50, 90,000 is greater than 50. So in both cases we have 10% increase, but 30,000 is not greater than 50,000. That's why we only have the salary printed. Question number 3 is done. Let's now go to question number 4. In question number 4 we have this date column and sales amount, and what we need to do is to use the existing data and forecast sales for the given dates. This is the existing data that we have been given, and these are the dates that we need to forecast the sales for. So for that, let's add equals. We have a function forecast.ets. Select the target date. The target date is this date that we need to forecast the sales for. Select the values. The values are this sales amount column, comma. Select the timeline. Timeline is this date column. Close parentheses. Press enter, and now we can see that all the sales for these dates are forecasted for us. That's it. Question number 4 is completed. Let's now go to the last and the most difficult question. Here we have been given this data: ID, name, email, and department. We have a department list here, and the question is create a dynamic drop-down list from the department's range. If the range is expanded, the drop-down should automatically be updated. It means we need to add a drop-down of these 4 values, but if there are more departments added here, that drop-down list should automatically be updated. This is a little bit tricky, but we can do it very easily. For the first part, we need to go to formulas and add a name here. Go to name manager. Let's click on new. Give the name to this as departments, and let's add the formula in the refers to section. We can use offset function in MS Excel to get dynamic ranges. So let's use equals offset. The first value in the offset function we need to start from is this IT. This is the first value in this departments list, comma, how many rows we want to come down. We don't want to come down for the now, we only want to add 0 here. How many columns we need to go to the right. We do not want to go to any other column, we just want to stay there, so we can add 0 here for the columns, comma, how much you want to expand. We start from IT. How much do you want to expand? We want to expand till HR or 14 or 18. No, let's add a function count A. Count A function returns all the rows where there is data. So currently we have data until row number 5. If the data is expanded to row number 10, this count A function will give us a dynamic range of those cells where there is data. So count A, let's select column from here, column A. We need to select the entire column because if the list is expanded, we need to get the entire list here. Close count A, comma, how many columns do we need to select in this range? We need to select only column A, only one column. So that is 1 for the columns. Now close the offset function and click OK. This department's name is created with this beautiful formula, offset function and count A function. Click close. Now let's select this range where we want to add the drop down. Go to the data tab, click on this data validation section. In the allow section we need to select list, and in the source we need to add that name that we created before. So equals departments. Click OK. Drop down has been added. If we check this, we can see that IT, finance, sales and HR options are available. Let's now expand these departments and see if the drop down is getting updated or not. Let me add a few other departments: communication, logistics, security, IM and support. Let's now check the drop down. We can see that the drop down has been expanded automatically. If we delete a few of them, for example, let me delete IM and support, and let's now see the drop down again. We can see that IM and support have been deleted from the drop down as well. So this is how we can add dynamic drop down list in MS Excel using the offset and count A functions. That's it. These were the 5 questions in MS Excel interview. Let me know in the comments section which questions looked very difficult for you and which question was the easiest one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. I'll see you in the next one.